Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live match preview on Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie, and I'm your host for today's show. The first leg wasn't an easy encounter for Liverpool, as Liverpool just about squeezed through the victory with a 1-0 win, courtesy of a very late goal from Harvey Elliott. But I'm expecting a different fixture altogether for this second leg, where, of course, it's at Anfield, so we're expecting a infamous European night, as we all do when we're watching Liverpool. And I think the PSG players will be surprised by the atmosphere, by the power of Anfield, because it's always underestimated. But we'll humble them in some shape or form. So today we'll do a quick match preview, and we'll see how both teams have performed in their respective leagues. And then we'll go through the team news, and I'll also present predicted lineups for this match. So in terms of the league, of course, with Liverpool, we just about notched up a win against Southampton over the weekend, 3-1 victory. We were trailing at 1-0 at half time, and of course, scored 3 goals to seal the win. For PSG, they, of course, won. They're undefeated in their league, and they continue to do so. They won 4-1 against Rons, and it was Barcola scoring the goal, as well as Ramos, and Ousmane Dembele scored 2 very late goals. So a team that's in good form, and no sort of surprise there. They've been probably one of the most informed teams in Europe all season. So this was never regarded as an easy tie for us. But despite us getting outplayed in every shape or form in the first leg, what it counts was the scoreline. And look, we got the 1-0 win. It's still halftime technically, so we need to make sure we turn up and we produce a solid performance like we did last week. So in terms of team news for Liverpool, the only update that I've seen online is that Cody Gakpo could be in contention to start. Whether he does, it remains to be seen, but I do expect him to be in the squad. And then you've got Tyler Morton, Joe Gomez, and Bradley. Unfortunately, still unavailable due to their injuries. For PSG, they're blessed as always. They've not got a single injury worry going into this fixture. So they've got a fully fit squad to select from. So a nice headache for the coach in terms of Luis Enrique. So let's present a graphic, and we can discuss the potential lineup for both teams. Won't be too many huge surprises, but we'll go through it um, as customary. So we'll start with PSG as the away team. Um, in goal, it'll be Donnarumma, who I'm sure will be a little bit disappointed with his attempt to save for Harvey Elliott. It wasn't the hardest of shots, but it was one of those moments where I probably caught him off by surprise, and the technique used for that shot was quite low, so he wasn't able to get a strong hand on it. So you got to give to the attacker the plaudits there. Now, in terms of the back four, I expect it to be Hakimi, who started the game on the front foot against Liverpool last week, but had to track back as Liverpool, built a bit more momentum, especially in the second half. But he's the one to look out for. He's a player that he's a live wire. He can attack down the flanks. He's got great speed, but also is very good on the ball. Has good variation of passing, can cross, can shoot. So he's, despite being a right back, he's one of their main sort of outlets in terms of creativity and also getting goals. So definitely want to make sure we keep quiet. And the other person on the other side in the fullback role, you've got Nuno Mendes, who actually had a good game against us last week. Kept Mohamed Salah very, very quiet. I think that was probably one of Salah's, you know, I can't even say worst game because he doesn't really have a working, but it was one of his quietest games where he wasn't heavily involved, and it led to Nuno Fernandez having more joy on that side of the pitch because he was attacking continuously on that left hand side. But of course, the goal probably led to his sort of over eagerness to go forwards because there was a bit of a gap between him and Harvey Elliott, and yeah, the rest is history in terms of us getting that winning goal there. So he starts in this fixture, but a player we still need to look out for in terms of the centre pairing. I expect it to be Pacho um, and Marquinhos in the middle of their defense. Now, in terms of the double pivot, you've got João Neves, who I was actually very impressed with. Showed great energy, pretty much matched Szoboszlai in that department, and putting a real shift for his team. And Vitinha, a player that I've watched over the years, really like the look of, showed his playmaking ability and different passing range. And he's had a few cheeky comments trying to disregard the atmosphere of Anfield. But we'll humble him, I'm sure, in tomorrow evening, or shall I say later on this evening. And in that number 10 role, do you know what? I've actually done the wrong graphic, so apologies. You can tell it's late night. Um, Let me just switch it up. And it's right, PSG 11. So they don't play a 4-2-3 formation. They will predominantly play a 4-3-3 fixture. Um, there we go. So that is the current line. And on the left side, who would it be on the left side? Very interesting. Who would I put on that left side? I thought Zé Emery would have got a bit of a shout in terms of playing things, but they seem to be favouring Fabian Ruiz, and to be fair, rightly so. He's very good on the ball, very strong, very athletic, has a good passing range, can shoot with his left foot as well. So he definitely put in a shift against Liverpool last week. So I think he will remain in the team, but do expect Zé Emery to come on and have some sort of involvement in the team. So I'm going to go for Fabian Ruiz on that left-hand side. Now, in terms of up top, no real surprises in terms of who will start. I thought last week they would have gone for Ramos just so they had a bit more of a sort of a direct sort of focal point, but that's not really how they play. They have played that on a few occasions in the league, but I think with how the team is set up, you probably expect them to go with the same front three, and why not? Because they caused us the most havoc that any other team has done this season. Kvaratskhelia playing on the right hand side, I thought, not his strongest role, but to be fair, produced a good performance last week. And the beauty of this front three is that they don't really have static positions. They do interchange quite a bit, and it's a free flowing front three, so they move around and they cover the player, whoever goes on the other side, and vice versa. So in this fixture, I expect Dembele to start in the middle, but I do expect him to shift on the right. I feel like he's stronger on that right hand side, and Barcola, an absolute menace on that left wing. So expecting him to be involved in this fixture a lot more. So that is the lineup. No real surprise. Pretty much the same team that faced us last week. In terms of the game plan, will be very interesting. Do they go on the front foot, or do they play a bit more reserved and allow the home team to have possession of the ball? I'm not quite so sure. So that's something that intrigues me going into this game. If I was Luis Enrique, I would deploy their normal tactic, which is go on the front foot, try and get that early goal, because then that could definitely quieten the crowd and then bring that momentum to the team. But it's Anfield; it's not an easy place to kind of conduct that sort of game plan. But let's see if Luis Enrique has the ball to do that. But nevertheless, it's going to be very interesting how the team set up tactically. So what we'll do now is we'll move on and then we'll present the graphic for the Liverpool lineup. So feel free to drop a comment and let me know what your lineup would be for this fixture. For Liverpool, of course, I'm going to go for Alisson in goal. After that goalkeeping masterclass last week, there's no other person that will start in goal. So he remains in the lineup. Trent Alexander-Arnold is expected to start right back. I'm sure you guys have seen the video of him and Salah having a bit of a argument, a bit of a tussle, or some labeling it as a fight, which is a bit dramatic. I feel like it's just been blown out of proportion. To be fair, it's just two mates just having a bit of a nothing too serious. It's a bit of a row, but nothing like you know you know there wasn't no like you know real sort of like bad intent or anything like that. It was just two guys just messing around. One probably got offended or took it a bit too serious, and the other guy was just laughing it off. So that's literally how it was. So rival fans and media outlets trying to make a big deal out of nothing. It's literally nothing. These things happen in training probably on a daily basis. It's just the way it is in terms of the squad atmosphere, and in training, players tend to just mess around. It's just part and parcel of having that sort of camaraderie with your teammates, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I think it's been blown out of proportion. But you know, the media outlets will say anything to try and derail Liverpool's momentum, but we know that's not going to happen right now. So yeah, I think less said about that the better, because it's literally nothing out of that situation for me. In terms of the left back position, I expect Robertson to start for this one, and then in the centre back position you've got Van Dijk, and then you've got Konate alongside him. Of course, Konate had that defining moment where he pushed. I was just really pushing him, just pretty much nudged or blocked Barcola. I'll be honest, he was quite lucky just because it was it wasn't shoulder to shoulder. It was actually on Barcola's back, and it's European football, so the referees are different. They have different interpretation of how certain fouls are done. So that could easily have been given as um, a red. I think that would have been very soft if that was given as a red card. I think yellow at best, but due to the positioning, he was pretty much the last man. I just don't think it was a red card. But letter of the law, unfortunately, it would have been given. So we have to, regard ourselves as, lucky not to have a man sent off, because the outcome of the game would definitely have been a lot more different. But, we count our blessings and we move on. In terms of the double pivot, McAllister will start on that left side, and then we'll have Gravenberch on the other side. So that's our double pivot there. I expect Szoboszlai to start in this fixture as well. So Szoboszlai, excuse me, Szoboszlai in the number 10 role. Salah on the right-hand side. And then we've got I don't think Luis Diaz will start in this fixture. I don't think he'll be Gakpo, but Gakpo will be on the bench, in my opinion. And I do expect him to be involved in some capacity. Up top, do you go for Nunes or Jota? Of course, Nunes has a fantastic impact against Southampton, but for this fixture, I think Jota will start, and I expect Nunes to come on in the second half and have some sort of involvement in terms of the outcome. So this is my predicted lineup. Feel free to drop a comment and let me know what you guys think. I think it's pretty much the same team that started last week as well. So in terms of my score prediction for this fixture, of course, I'm going for a win. I'm not going to go for anything less. I do believe Liverpool will get the win in this fixture. I'm actually going to go for a 2-0 result. So I'm going to predict Diogo Jota and Mohamed Salah getting on the score sheet. So that is my prediction. That is my predicted lineups, and that is the end of the match preview. So thank you to everyone for tuning in. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. In terms of upcoming content, I will be doing a live watch along of this fixture. I believe the game starts at 8 p.m. UK time, so I'll be live from 7:55. I will go through the lineups, and then we'll watch the game together, and then we'll do a match reaction show later in the evening. Hopefully, it's a moment of celebration. It's a show where we can speak in high regards and full of happiness. Um, yeah, so make sure to tune in, and it will be a calling show. So if you'd like to come on and have your say, a link will be available in the live chat. And that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to speak with you all very, very soon. Goodbye.